Good evening, Free Enterprise fans. That was exciting, wasn't that? Just a few technical difficulties that hopefully are all fixed. I am Neon Gray, and with me in the booth here is Invenerable. Hello.
Hey, how's it going tonight?
Not bad, not bad. Really excited to be here for this race. This is one of those ones that, you look forward to when you see those names matching up on the list.
Oh yeah, Possumorpheus and Zilch are two of the absolute best racers at managing speculative Zeromus fights, using little niche and really tricky strategies, and basically going in definitely without power overwhelming and still stitching together that Zeromus kill. But of course, these are the bracket flags. There's a lot to get through before we even reach that part of the fight. But I'm already excited just for that reason alone. How about you?
I am too. These are really flags that, they will make you stretch and they'll make you have to work for especially your early victories. And we're looking to have to work a little harder than we'd like to, because we're starting off with a forum. Nobody wants to start off with a forum.
I think she gets a little bit of a bad rap. Definitely, you want any white mage in a storm when you have to go through some of these hook routes without one at all. It is kind of cute though that we also have for our two random objectives get Porum and defeat Mylon when there are no dupes. So wherever you find her is going to be a dead character check, but it will still get you the objective.
It's true. Sadly, we don't get 3 forums in the party, but one forum is, I think, more than enough for our hearts to be able to contain, I think.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
absolutely. And quick shout out, by the way, our restreamer Cubs Rule 21, managing that little bit of panic a little while ago, got the stream up nice and crisp for this race to kick off. And also Twisted Flags, handling the tracking for us, keeping an eye on all those key items, all those objectives as they come in. Great team tonight. I'm excited to be a part of it, Neon.
Yeah, no, I am super thrilled to be here right now too. Should be off any second now, I think.
Yeah, that gate should, the delay should be catching up soon. What kind of, oh, yeah, there we go. That moment where everyone dips out of the name menu and heads over to the new game because they're waiting on that final little tick from the bot to tell them to go. So we're gonna see who the starting compadre is for this Porum. Gonna get a peek at who the boss at Baigan is, and hopefully get a pretty juicy starter kit to get this team rolling.
Okay, that's good. I like that. Sid is a great starting character. Dragoon armor. I think we're in business.
Oh yeah. Weaponry will be a little tricky with the Sea Neki out the gate, but with 44,000 gold in that starter kit, you can even afford an Earth Hammer out the gate, or maybe an Elven Bow if you want to go the route of archery on the lad. But great gear. Got a black shirt. If we find any black mage out there, boost that magical damage. So yeah, pretty good starter kit. And King Queen Eblin at Baigan. So if you get a Bearing Key, you're not going to be scared of that first fight at all.
Yeah, and that is, that's a legit concern with some bosses. Like, you get a Looter Sparkle there, that could be Wyvern. You don't want that to be Wyvern.
Yeah, we see Zilch immediately peeking to find out what Sineki started his team with. Nothing too thrilling. Hand axe on Sid, some darkness arrows, and a bad bow on Porum. And they're both going to go the Castle Eblin loot route.
That's really interesting, because, I think it's a perfectly good starter on this flag set, but it's not a common opener. So seeing both of our runners do it at once that's something.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is like both their individual playstyle, or if this is a situation where maybe one of them studied the other one, knows they are prone to this option, and just doesn't want to be left out in the cold if your opponent gets a really good piece of loot and you are left without, of course.
Yeah, could be.
Another nice thing about it too is that if you are on a nasty hook route, clearing out all the non-monster chests outright and just knowing where the monster fights are, if you keep track of those, can be a pretty handy way to come in, try to, get a good piece of trap chest loot and get a little bonus XP if this is something you like to do before properly chasing a hook route.
Yep, very much so. And yeah, just
So
pulling
we're gonna
those
see,
chests, not much on the left side.
yeah, we're gonna see a lot of resetting here. Got some pretty nice heavy armor, but of course with that sell zero flag, you're not gonna be getting the money's worth out of it. And I don't think we've seen any really exciting weaponry yet, unless I missed it.
Yeah, nothing really for these characters. And it's all defensive.
And Randomania, thank you for the raid. Of course, excellent matches all night long. So many here in the round of 32. Do remember not to spoiler what happened on that race in case anyone here intends to go back and watch the VOD. And you only missed the first few minutes here. This Possumorpheus Zilch match. We got a starting Luca key. We have a Sid and a Porum, and both our runners are trying to get some kind of good loot going on here out of
Ogreax.
Castle Eblin. Ogreax will do it.
Yeah. Yeah, that will do very nicely for the both of them, because they're both gonna come away with that.
Oh. So if we were to actually start keeping reset counters here on our free enterprise races, the early castle level play will do it to you every time. 3 trap chests in here, and if you intend to loot exhaustively, you're probably going to run into all of them. But that Ogre Axe is going to get both these sits online in a big way. You can steal that bow from Porum to back row glitch him. I think the overworld's going to be kind of in the bag when they leave here.
Yeah, this is, we've got it. We'll be able to. I can't talk. With all the heavy armor that we've got, Sid's just going to be taking 1 damage from pretty much anything we face on the overworld, and that Ogreax will kill through the entire game.
Yeah, a bonus Starvel's nice as well. Saves you 3,000 gold in case your starter kit was not quite enough. But yeah, I'm looking at this Dragoon armor. I'm looking at we even got some nice shields and some nice hats. This is going to be just a walking tank of an engineer right here.
Yeah, like, he's not going to get more than a chip of, chip the paint on his armor, and that's the most he's going to get. Otherwise, not a lot to be found in that Eblin. Still, I think just having a weapon of that quality is enough right by itself.
Anyway, have some sad trombone noises. We do have an Edward up here. Zilch going to take the fight anyway. I like this. It's still nice to have the extra body on the field, even though there's no spoon flag enabled. And if you end up running into Odin, you end up running into Pain Man, the Dark Knight. Edward has great utility, even without having the spoon at your disposal.
Yeah, like I am a big fan of Eddie, even without Spoon, and especially here, this early in the game, he's not taking a spot from anyone else, which is the other concern that you get with Eddie in flags that don't really support his use.
Yeah, Possumorpheus here, taking on I believe that was Leviathan at D-Mist for a little bit of starting XP and also to loot the Mist Cave. Finding a Grimoire there, which, how lucky you feeling tonight, Neon?
You know what? I usually roll pretty well on those. And I know he does like the Possum does like that Mist Cave loot play. I think just the way the distribution shakes out, you cannot get garbage in there. So you may not get anything great, but whatever you get, it's not gonna be that bad.
Yeah, and speaking of great, Watery Pass yielding a Heroine Robe. If you want your Porum to stay alive and get every point of XP in this early game, that's the gear to put on her.
Yeah, 2 Ice Brands, which, oh, there's a Mist Dragon over in our antline.
Yeah, nice little bonus round. Gonna get 1 key item check from the cave, and 1 when we go check on Rydia's sunbathing mother in the village itself.
That's right, she sunbathing. That's...
And that Dancing Dagger is nice as well. If Possum picks up the Edward, he'll actually be doing very respectable damage using that Dancing Dagger's magical item attack for this overworld to boot.
Yeah, that is another great thing about an early Eddie, because he's got a very decent chance of getting a dancing dagger to start. He also decent chance of coming with a bow and arrows. So really, Neki does well for him. So even if you may not want to long haul him, you may just want the stuff he's carrying.
Yep. We do see a darkness crystal as the first item from Antlion Cave. Another character check, which could be that required Porum on the objective list, could be just a great way to round the team out here. Fu and Edge both available. We've not seen any great gear for Edge. That ninja shirt from the castle, actually extremely good defense, not a whole lot of offense for him if he's there. And of course, an early Fu just gets your game rolling so quickly if he's up there.
Yeah, like any of those two options would be great. A Cecil would also be really handy. It's pretty common to run into decent gear for him as you go.
Possumorpheus finds an entire seafood party platter in the waterfall, so alt gauntlets sadly off the table at any rude location down the line.
And killing the Mist Dragon got us some dragon killing arrows.
Oh yeah, very nice. We don't have a bow I would ever want to fire one of those with yet without an aim command, but just fantastic for killing all those dragon type enemies later in the game. And 25,000 gold down the drain for a curse ring. I love this purchase. I think just based on what I've seen of these bracket flags, one of the most dangerous things you can do is try to hoard your money too much. When you can get an item that you know, especially a curse ring, gives you great power potential throughout the entire game. You're always going to be able to get value out of it. I like the buy.
Yeah, like that's something where you absolutely want to pick that up no matter what. It's a lot. It's over half that starting cash, but you want that. Because that is just a complete game changer in the way that no overworld purchase really can be.
Absolutely. Possumorpheus picks up that darkness crystal, and I'll note that that little bit of extra looting does make him seem, a minute or two behind Zilch right now. But if Possum can get a big payout out of that heroine robe, out of that grimoire, there are lots of ways to leverage that extra loot to swing things right back. But I'm really just excited to see who this lunar character is. But gotta be shopping first. Oh well.
Yeah, but can't think you're right there. That is another really solid find. Obviously, you can't freely buy as many as you once would have on flag sets that give you more cash, but you still want, 4 is a good number. If you can squeeze out 5, that's great, but 4 should be enough to hold you through a seed, and nobody wants to be doing a moon dive with no camping gear.
And one subtle thing Zilch did there that I'm also a fan of, did not even look at the Mysidia weapon or armor shops. Figures the team has what it needs for now. Whatever funding I have left, I need to reserve for other things. Sid's going to get me through this overworld. I have the curse string for the long term. There's nothing else in the weapon or armor shops that is really... he does not... It seems that he does not feel that it is worth the investment of cash, is what I'm trying to say. Poorly.
Yeah, and that decision is thoroughly validated, because right in the Hummingway's Workers Collective, there's Ether Ones, there's Silk Webs, and he picks up 3 of those and 1 of the Silk Webs.
And here we go. Gonna get a peek at this Lunar Deus character. As we all wait with bated breath.
That's a good character.
That's a very good character, but I think that very good character is going to be far more advantageous for Possum once he gets up there. Having that heroine robe, gonna have, even though it's just a great bow, Rosa's aim command at least mitigates its atrocious accuracy. So Rosa's always great to see. You love having that high HP white mage on the team. But I think Possum's gonna get a lot more mileage out of that Rosa this seed once we get up there.
Yeah, I think so. And yeah, he also catches that cursed ring in that shop and does a double take, immediately goes back for it. And he's prepping on the arrows in general, so he's going to be very happy to see that Rosa. And he's also got a set of charm arrows from that one chest on the way out of Antlion too.
Yeah, so well equipped to defeat a wide array of enemies, and I love that if you have the heroine robe, especially,
Yeah.
just because you know that you're going to be able to dish out some really good archery damage with all that extra strength and agility that the robe gives, and leaning into that for a relatively low price. Fire arrows, ice arrows, they don't cost a lot, and hitting elemental weaknesses is so potent.
Yeah, like any of those bosses where that will do bonus damage, it's gonna do a ton of bonus damage. And ooh, and there are charm arrows for sale in that Fabul shop. Definitely worth a 20 stack there. Even from Zilch.
I'm sad to see not just a few little pickups of Medusa arrows. Both these racers know how to proc the petrification on them. Uh, but in all fairness, again, these overworld fights, you're probably not that worried about with how well equipped the team currently is.
Yeah, I would not see a need to pick those up myself there. It's especially considering with the latest version, Medusa arrows got a price hike. Um, I don't think we're at a point where it's going to be uniquely helpful there.
Mom Bomb here at the Fapul defense spot. What AoE options are we rocking on this team? We have the starting stack of Thor Rages from the starter kit, but I'm not sure I've seen any other second Grimoire for Possumorpheus. Just reading all the literature today.
Oh,
But
well
I don't think
that'll be
Zilch.
really handy for these sisters here.
I don't think Zilch has any really good AoE here, so these baby bombs coming out may be a little obnoxious for Zilch's team.
Yeah, I don't think he has anything.
I know that Possumorpheus opened up the whale, but did not fly to the moon, so not going to have that Rosa yet. But if you got the Porum and you're memeing on the whole Porum situation, lean into it fully, right?
Yeah, well, you might as well. And oh, we gotta fight Cecil to get Cecil.
You love to see, or you don't love to see, that complete failure to transform, but gets the hide off on Edward. This fight's free in spite of the pretty big dark waves coming out. Eddie
Yeah.
showing his value, showing his worth. And I believe Possumorpheus also has a spare Deathbringer, a black sword, to throw on this Dark Knight Cecil, even though no Paladin, no problem.
Yeah, very nice. And yeah, great spot for this to be here. Absolutely no loss from just sacrificing the rest of the party. There's no XP here. It doesn't matter. We get the hook.
Another character check, some more shop checks, some really good loot if you intend to continue with that at this point. And getting that advanced knowledge of who the boss is, just so you are aware if there's more overworld preparation you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, 50-50, I think, on whether he takes anything chests in there. After what we've seen him pick up, I am kind of inclined to think he might be done, at least
Yeah.
for now. But it is a good set of chests, so they can be tempting.
Full defense, not giving a key item this time, but giving a protect ring. Fantastic bit of gear, just ridiculously good physical and magical defense, along with halving, fire, ice, and lightning.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, I don't hate that. You expect a few dud checks early on, and getting an item as useful as that, because, elemental defense is it's so important. And two, like, just regular defense. On the overworld, it's a protect ring can be the difference between just getting taken down at melee.
Possum here, moving that hovercraft without hesitation. Meanwhile, both our runners seeming content to ignore ordeals for a little bit Of course, having the Cecil after completing the Baron Inn will motivate a trip up there eventually. It's in the main key item pool, so it's very likely to have something. And we are still hunting a boss here, and 3 fights up there. Decent odds, decent odds.
Yeah, and of course we do have the best item shop in the game here, paying off its two its two guaranteed high tier items.
And this is cheeky. Possumorpheus buying hourglasses, but not additional sirens. And I kind of like what this may.
He's gonna crack chests inside.
Well, it's not even that. It's we have a darkness crystal. We
Yeah.
have Artemis arrows. Do you want more money? Gold
Yeah.
dragons are here for you.
Yeah.
Get a life glitch off. Get all the cash you will ever need for a seed, and then just buy more your second pass through. Ooh.
Yeah, that'll do. And yeah, he is. Yeah, he is cracking chests along the way. He doesn't care now if he picks up the monsters. And there's our second forum, and there's a boss nobody wants to see. It's got a 50-50 chance of being a terrible boss.
Yeah, that can either be elements or ruby. Because there's only one enemy sprite here, we can't tell the difference until we actually get into battle. If it does end up being ruby, those ice arrows will be very helpful. If it's elements, gross.
Yeah, I see right. Neither of those options are very good.
Appears to have no source of exit yet. Didn't pick up a fortunate exit door along the way. Does have to walk out here, but walking out with some really good loot, some really good J items, some really important knowledge.
Yeah.
I don't think this was a. I think Possum is just going to enjoy this walk and take the time to plot out what his next course of action is, because he has some really big plays on the table if he chooses to pursue them.
Yeah, and so I do think that because he does have the one siren, so a quick grab up there for a load of cash could be in the cards.
Yeah, he has the starter one and found a second one. So.
Oh, I guess they weren't stacked. I thought I only saw one.
Yeah, and it has those hourglasses. Yeah, flying past ordeals. Where are we going? Oh, throwing us for a loop.
But yeah, gotta do ordeals before that, because otherwise that XP is just gonna get completely wasted on Cecil.
Lunar Staff and a Black Belt in the first two chests here. Fantastic. +10 White Mage stat stick. Fantastic bonus strength, light armor for any of your physical fighters. Just, wow, really great loot from the first two chests here on Ordeals.
Yeah. Like, for a while I was giving those chests a pass, but then I started picking them up again, and they actually roll pretty well. Okay, nice simple boss here. This is a job for these grimoires we've been picking up everywhere.
Yeah, another annoying one due to this team's general lack of AoE, but like you said, a Boreas.
Oh, right, starter one of those too. Easy peasy.
Yeah, that's fantastic. But clearly picked that up somewhere that Zilch did not go, unless Zilch already burned his. But Boreas, Shiva, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Yeah.
Same damage even.
I'm not going to regret lacking a Octomammoth. Not going to be a challenging fight for either of these teams.
Yeah.
In the back attack spot.
Yeah, no, this is completely fine.
Shoutouts to Dark Knight Cecil here doing nearly 300.
Yeah, like this is his time to shine. He can be a hero before he becomes the hero.
So yeah, Octomammoth here, the first 3 hits will chop a tentacle off, then each 2 thereafter chops another one. As the tentacles drop, the speed drops as well, so although the squid got the sneak attack on the team, not going to really be keeping pace after a few of these hits come out. Possumorpheus already through. Zilch not going to be too far behind.
Yeah, that in both cases, that Dark Knight Cecil is actually doing work. This is, of course, Final Fantasy I Cecil. And to answer Pancraz in chat, no, Porum is at the hook.
Here we go. Sparkle lands. We'll get our key item.
Oh, required.
Very required ordeals. I mean, there's always the minor possibility that you can complete the other 4 objectives without Cave Magnus, but it's great to see it. It's great to have it out of the way, not to worry about it. We do like to say chase your freebies, chase your objectives, and it is a way to get a little more power going on the team before you have to worry about that Ruby or that Elements fight at his at the Fire Fiend's vanilla location.
Porum gonna use one of those precious arty arrows and only halfway kill the thing.
Yeah, that's one. The Great Bow's accuracy is just so sad that even with the middle slot bonus, if you don't land all those hits, you're just not dishing out the damage you want from the Artemis arrow.
Yeah, that's just sad, but you know, she's a 5-year-old girl. I'm not gonna hold that too much against her.
Oh no, that's actually really impressive. I mean, when I was a 5-year-old, I wasn't fighting dragons.
Yeah, and I mean, I didn't know how to use a bow when I was 5.
Peldim being here is a little sad. It's one of the easier Lunar Sparkles to deal with. Has a bunch of nasty counters, but at its base, script only punches. It punches. It punches you again. Yawn. So, not too much of a threat at most places, and so having it out of the way at this 1000 HP spot, maybe a little sad, but for us in the booth and the viewers in chat, this does mean we have all those nasty sparkles left out there.
It's true, and you know, you don't want the easy one to be somewhere easy if you're, if you're playing, but, hey, there's still a wyvern out there.
Possumorpheus contemplates taking that well to the moon, decides, hold on, let me do Fabul before I forget about it. So at this point, Possum has all the knowledge of the hook path, Zilch has the Rosa from the moon, and none of that knowledge. So not a whole lot of places left for Zilch to go. May choose to pursue the Twin Harp first, or may say, let's see what that item shop holds. Although, I believe Zilch has spent the vast majority of his initial starter kit of cash, right?
I think he has, yeah.
So, seeing those hourglasses and sirens for sale may cause a minor twinge of regret, but maybe these fights that he's taken have gotten him enough to afford. If you can afford even 1 hourglass there, you can destroy Gold Dragons on the Moon and get all the money you'll need for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, like, it will, you will well more than make your money back on that, but it does look like he's gonna go for music first.
And look at that, High Roll Grimoire. Goodbye, bombs.
Everybody loves grimoires.
Yep. So Possum definitely picking up a little bit of time on that fight, whereas Zilch had to take down each bomb individually. Just one summon of the Dragon Lord and mega nukes them all away.
And all Possum gets for his trouble is a Protect Ring.
Zilch doing a little more looting here in Cave Magnus. Another place that has above average loot just because it's kind of spaced out, it's out of the way. People don't necessarily like taking the time to do so. And so far, well, we're kind of seeing why that might be. A Drain Sword and an Ice Claw.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. I do like taking chests in here on the way. just because it is a bit higher, but sometimes all you get is a ninja star.
Yeah, just bad luck on the Cave Magnus rolls today, but it's all good. Possum finally making that moon play. I'm really hoping to see a play for some gold dragons with those Artemis arrows. Do you know if Possum's Porum knows Berserk yet?
I don't know. She might.
Yeah. Because if so, of course, after you freeze the dragons, you can berserk yourself, and you will not consume that final Artemis arrow. And if you want your little murder child, age 5, heroin robe, Artemis arrow Porum, to do work for the team, that is a great way to kick it off.
And immediately flying to Cape Bahamut.
I love this play so much. I think this is huge, and this is going to be a massive swing in Possumorpheus' favor. Getting that knowledge, getting those hourglasses. If he's doing what we think he's doing, this is going to give Rosa and Cecil, both slingshotted from the first fight, an absolute ton of levels and HP and new spells.
There's no slingshot.
Oh, sorry. It's still a ton of XP.
Yes,
There's
it's still a lot of XP.
in Lali-Ho League. Sorry, chat. I'm so acclimated to it. But you know what there is? There are Twin Harp songs. Play that funky music, Edward. And Zilch cuts through Odin at this spot, making it out just before the Zantetsuken comes. But notably, Possumorpheus gaining 69,000 gold and 90,000 XP from that first gold dragon fight. He is not done. He wants more.
Yeah, get that cash, get that XP. Zilch gets that sand ruby.
And look at this little murder child go. All this damage. Not going to burn that last arrow. Possum just waiting for his chance to get another life glitch off here and keep the money and the levels rolling.
Yeah, and you like that too. Instead of using a really precious life potion, he's using the life on that Rosa.
Oh yeah. As long as she doesn't whiff, she can live a little tele life sometimes, but I doubt that'll happen after having gotten a few levels on her. So
yeah.
Resource management. Moreover, you know what else he's getting that if we look at Zilch's side is noteworthy here? He's going to have the exit spell on Porum before he chases his Twin Harp. That saves another long, long walk here.
Oh, you're right. And now we know that is us. Lunar Sparkle in Cave Bahamut, and nope, 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 nope.
Yeah, Possumorpheus is about to tear the seed wide open. Those additional levels, that additional cash, anything he wants to buy, he can. Any boss he wants to kill for the foreseeable future is going to just get dunked on. So Zilch has the advantage for now in terms of seed completion. But Possum has the power on his team. Let's see how this initial grind just accelerates his way through these upcoming fights.
Yeah, like, there are very few things in this game that will serve you as well as, an initial burst of levels like that. Because once you do that, you don't even have to think about what you're doing to get through the vast majority of whatever else you're fighting from here on out.
Yeah, so extremely heads-up play. And this is kind of interesting as well. Sid, you've done great things for the team, you've done good work, but it's time to hand your axe over to the new generation. Possum is about to lean into this Cecil, I believe.
Yeah, looks like, and I was wondering about that when he was doing that, because I noticed he had everybody still up during that fight. And but I'm like, he's got the cursed ring. He's probably got plans that way for what to do there. And sure enough, he does. He's shifting everything over onto that Sid, who nice and pokey now.
And also making a very important point here to take the crystal armor off of the Cecil. I don't think this team is going to need cover strats all that much here. That Cecil is bound for DPS land, not tank, not coverage. He is going to be doing a lot of work for this team. And I think alongside that still Heroine Rogue Porum, it's about to be the Cecil and Porum show for DPS, and I am here for it.
Oh yeah. And what is Zilch doing? He seems to be taking some randoms around Damsian. I was gonna.
Maybe he is just now. Maybe so. Some racers will launch the hovercraft early. Some will launch it later. Maybe he thought, "Oh yeah, I didn't launch this yet. I have to actually run in here and do it." Ugh, I hate having to do this late in the seed. Uh, or it may be, "Oh yeah, I had a hook and I completely forgot about it." I don't know. Could be one or the other there. We will try to remember to ask him in the postmortem if an interview is happening. Oh, okay. Our restreamer Cubs rule making a good point. Maybe hunting for a fight?
Yeah, might be trying to get exit.
Well, 700 XP, not gonna get you a whole long way there. But seems content with what he received and is moving along.
Hmm. Oh, he wants exit before he does the dive on for down the hook, I think. No?
Well, I'm sure we're about to be given some cheeky surprise, courtesy of Zilch.
Yes.
But while we're keeping our eyes peeled on him...
reaction grind!
Okay.
Thank you, Flurry.
Let's keep our ears peeled on Possum for another excellent reprise of that Twin Harp music. I love all this Xeno stuff music that we have going on. It's fantastic.
Yes.
There we go. Possum takes down that Odin. Meanwhile, Zilch has activated a reaction grind. This is really good for him. It will help equalize these levels a little bit, and gets him a little bit of spending cash for when he does go to Eblin Cave. The grenades have a specific counterattack to being hit with a single target lightning spell. It's reaction. It blows them up and it destroys everything else on their side of the field, and you get to reap the benefit. How do you like a
Oh,
bonus moon veil, by the way? That's the big reward there.
yeah, that's more exciting than literally anything else. Like, the moon veil is it is possibly the best consumable item in the game, and just getting that for free right there.
Oh yeah. So good little bonus levels for Zilch. It may be enough to help him out here, but Possum already knows there is a Rydia here in the bed. Oh, and I think he remembered that right when he landed. Does
Yeah.
not need her for anchoring yet, not with that Sid set up.
Yeah, and then he's remembering that it's a hook seed.
Dude, where's my hovercraft? Where's my hovercraft, dude? And we're about to have basically there's going to probably be a high five during the fight at the Ruby spot here if
Yeah.
Zilch doesn't decide to go back and do further grinding. But this means that I think I have to give the advantage to Possumorpheus. He's a little faster getting down here. He has more
Much
money,
more
more
levels.
levels.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think Zilch at this point can afford to take some hourglasses and head out to get levels now. He has to push forward if he wants to keep in this.
Yeah, you get real nervous when you're at this level of play, when you're on a hook route and you've already passed the 40-minute mark. You know, there's something to be said for you did spend all that time in Cave Magnus. You think about that and you're like, oh yeah. But it's so easy for top tier players to be underground on a hook route right around the 40-minute mark
Yeah.
that your heart's pumping, you hear it in your ears, you're thinking, I've got to go right now.
Yeah, so he buys 3 sirens in an hourglass, which I think completely cleans out his cash reserves. But that, I think, if he's buying right now, that's the correct proportion there.
Yeah. Also, if he does not intend to fly back to the moon, because those well trips do take a little bit of time and effort and energy.
Yeah.
If you do want further levels underground, those Artemis arrows will basically let you one-shot any of the yellow dragon eggs on the peninsula or on the beach. So, kind
Ooh!
of set up for that. Oh, gross.
Possum is going to be feeling really good that he took those levels right now.
Yep. Yep. Well, one cute thing though about this evil wall is Possum still has the Edward.
Yeah.
Could even just win this fight through Edward strats. This wall is very capable of punching through its 6,000 health. But with levels like these, pour 'em, kill.
Yeah, like this is a job for just straight up killing it. It would actually take more time to set up to do the anti strat than than to actually do it this way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
So,
as Paul Plays Poorly puts it really well there, Zilch is going to be feeling great to have a Moonveil when he runs into this.
oh yeah, because Zilch did ditch the Eddy, so that strat's off the table, and a Moonveil basically makes it as free can be.
Yeah, just pop that on your Cecil, and he'll rip this wall a new door.
Yeah, we're gonna do some nice renovating here in the Upper Tower of Babel. We're gonna go with kind of like an open space floor plan. We want people to see into the kitchen while and it's dead. Plumeri Knight in chat asking, Possum still has the heroine robe on Porum. I love it. Rose has better stats. It is possibly partly to meme a little bit because there are routine jokes about Porum in murder child status. There's also the fact that, and this is what I think may be a little more into it, is that I believe Rosa already knows Cure 3, and I'm not sure. Did Porum learn Cure 3? Yeah, she did. Okay,
Yeah.
never mind. If Possum hadn't taken that second batch of gold dragons, Porum would probably still just be rocking here too, in which case I think it would make a lot of sense. But as it stands, there's also something to be said for not taking the time to move all that gear between your two white mages, when here in the mid-30s they are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, and, well, she may have Cure 3 now. The fact is, once they both have Berserk, Rose's spell order, as it comes in, is just vastly, vastly superior to Porum's. So Rose is going to be actually getting spells you want to cast. Stick the heroine robe on Porum.
And I love this turn order that Possumorpheus has set up for fights as well. Can open fights with Rosa immediately zerking Cecil. Porum can then zerk herself to never lose that last arrow, and then you're pretty much done. You don't have to do a whole lot else in these mid-game fights with these kind of levels.
Yeah, like this is a great party setup he's got going on here. And to answer in chat, Rubicant is the boss who appears here in Vanilla. Ironically, it is one of the worst bosses you could get at this spot. He's a really hard boss in Vanilla, and he's really hard in Free Enterprise.
But this level, nearly mid to high 30s Cecil with an ice brand does not care. I'm going to do my bonus damage. I'm going to rip through you. We have a full team standing, so the counterfire 2s are kind of doing diddly squat. Porum's helping out, bless her heart. And Possumorpheus is through that fight very cleanly.
Yeah, like he takes some damage, but meh. Like, not even a speed bump. Meanwhile, Zilch resets out of that evil wall.
Yeah, and just going to show how much those extra levels are coming into play here. Paul Plays Poorly in the chat mentioned that Moonveil earlier. That's one viable way to ensure your initial survivability here. But the power overwhelming strats of Possumorpheus just tore through that wall so quickly.
Yeah, like this is a nightmare hook route. So it's really exciting to see such skilled runners having to go up against it, and because this will give anyone trouble, even people who specifically practice for these bosses at these spots. You still gotta know what you're doing. It's not easy.
And Randomania 2 coming in with the raid. Thank you so much, Randomania. Again, please do not spoiler any prior races tonight. And for a fairly quick recap here, well, we have access to the entire world, an early hook and a darkness crystal. Both runners have already done Twin Harp, so if you want to reprise, you'll have to go to the VOD. And Possumorpheus notably took one starting Siren and another found one, and some Hourglass 2s from Eblin Cave, some Artemis arrows from the D Mist reward, and slew, smote, he destroyed 2 sets of gold dragons in Cave Bahamut, giving him tons of levels, tons of money. Zilch did Cave Eblin last. Got a good infusion of levels by doing a reaction grind with grenades on the moon. Go ahead.
And Possum right now is just pulling Mylan from the Dwarf Castle.
Oh yeah, I like the plated dwarf castle right out the gate here. We still need both halves of the forge, so I don't think there's a real reason to rush Feymarch and Sheila 1, especially since these levels might get you out of Feymarch with only one dip. And you have a boss hunt. There are two of them here.
Yeah.
Coming up lucky.
Yeah, like I really like the dwarf play in the Lali-Ho League. It's fitting, of course, to the name. But it really makes it a place you want to go and check.
Looks like the Cecil and the Porum are still equipped for slaying fire elementals, though, not quite being all they can be this fight. But I don't think Mylon's any kind of threat for Possum's party and levels, even if it is going to take just a little bit longer than he'd probably like.
Yeah, like, that's fine. It's fine. I believe Zilch was setting up some cursed ring absorption shenanigans. So we should see some green numbers here. Yes, there's Cecil.
Yeah, so Zilch can literally not lose this fight. Even the glare will be absorbed. It is magical, it is fire, the dragoon armor, I believe, plus the cursed ring, giving Cecil fire absorption. The biggest threat to Cecil will be a double punch, which Ruby only does every other turn. So no threat here, but not tearing through at the rate that those ice brands did on Possum's side.
Yep, but right now, you're more concerned about just getting through.
And with that, Possumorpheus has lit up a third objective. Defeat Mylon number 5 on the board. 1 pink till equals go mode at this point. We could get it all from right here in Dwarf Castle.
Could, and we drop the Eddie at last.
Oh, Hyvern.
Uh-oh.
Well, but there's one important thing to note here.
Yeah, this, the magic at this spot is horrible.
Yeah, that's only one roll of Mega Nuke, I believe. We saw the roughly 1200-ish damage. I think that's only one roll of it. So,
yeah.
No problem that Cecil dodging it outright to boot. Because this fight in vanilla is Golbez. It's kind of a cutscene fight. Rydia rejoins your team and saves the day right when it looks like all hope is lost. And it wants to make sure you finish that fight off without wiping sadly after this really great dramatic moment. But Wyvern, still Mega Nuke is still Mega Nuke, so good on Possumorpheus reacting and getting through that fight.
Yeah, and of course he is no match for a small child.
Oh no, he's a dragon. Come on. Give that Porum some arrows and turn her loose.
Yeah, she eats dragons like that for breakfast. Dragonos, buy them at your local grocery store today. There's an earth crystal from Dwarf. I don't think we're gonna see the treasury on that. Not this late in.
Yeah, the team is pretty potent already. And Cecil already rocking an Ogre Axe. I mean, you might be able to pull like a lightsaber out of it. You're not going to get any of the tier 7 gear on this flag set. So no really big holy swords, no Avengers, none of those things. It will not surprise me to see it just left hanging as well.
Yeah, T-Pro is not known for the most inspiring treasure. We're now joined by Randomania 4, so come on in. We're just getting underground. Possum just finished off Dwarf Castle, and Zilch is cleaning up Rubicant.
Zilch showing off all the niche tech that he can get his hands on this seed, from that really great reaction grind. Now throwing a bomb at Ruby, so that Ruby's like, "No, you're the bomb," and picking up the entire team. What a nice guy, so friendly.
Yeah, like that is one of those really cool things that never comes up, because you really don't ever want to be in a position where it could come up. But it's really neat.
Possum here not even opening the chest that he touches on his way through the Feymarch, only wants the key item. That is half of the forge, so now either a pink tail or an adamant will put him in go mode.
Oh, and there's the wine.
That is so much money. Buy a case, have a party.
Bought
For
4 bottles. Oh, big
I'm
spender.
not going to Possumorpheus' parties. Oh, you gotta get more wine than that.
It's craft wine.
Oh, okay. It's fancy. You just have just a little sip. You're not here to...
Yeah, it's sipping wine.
Oh, okay. Well, we know that's a Mylon Z on the right.
That is pretty doable. I think we're just gonna go for it.
Yeah. Sadly, no hammer to make the Dr. Luggage fight easier, but I don't think it would be a threat for his team anyway. Just the question is, do you want to take the time for these boss fights, or do you want to move along elsewhere? I do like a single dip Feymarch in my life, but I don't know. You gotta make gambles on these seeds too, you know?
Yeah, Dr. Luggage there isn't too bad. Like, I think it's worth at least a try. And we even got the script on the Ruby! Oh my gosh!
Well, with that, Zilch will be through an underground. Has those spare sirens, if he wants to take down eggs. And seed is very wide open. Most of the underworld, we do have that Luca key we got as our starting item that no one has felt tempted to peek yet. And of course, Moon's open as well. So lots of choices. Let's see which route Zilch pursues.
Yeah, because he's got options open to him now. Right. Oh, and that is Bahamut at the top of the tower. That's actually really annoying.
It's kind of funny because financing on this lag set is a little bit at a premium, so you don't want to go throwing out a ton of money on Starvales, but that's not a quick fight. Bahamut does not count as a dragon for Artemis Arrow purposes. The reflected Mega Nukes at that spot, if you reflect like it on all 5 characters, I think you'll still hit the damage cap, but it's...
That's a maybe, which just shows you how bad the magic is there.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're as likely to get, like, 8k, if you have a quintuple bounce on that. So, I mean, you don't want to see that fight there even when you've got a stack of Star Bills, because it's just you're gonna be sitting there.
Yeah. Our restreamer putting out the Zilch on the Pitfall, roughly 10 minutes behind Possum. Just going to show what a huge difference that extra looting and that grind on the moon made. Oh, and the game throwing an Ice Brand here to kind of be a butt about it, too.
Just a silver apple from that Mylon. And we're not trying the doctor.
An awkward thing for Zilch here is that if Zilch peeks the bosses, Zilch will be obligated to check whether that is Mylon or Mylon Z, because we know it's one of the objectives, whereas Possum got to come in already knowing who was there, took the fight anyway, but still already knew who that purple robe was.
Yeah, and of course it makes total sense that, you know, he does take it knowing that it is, because that's a really gentle boss for that spot. But fortunately for Zilch, if he avoids it, you know, there's nothing there.
Yeah, one of the best things that can happen for Zilch here is to not take either of these fights. Definitely catches up a little bit of time. Has to see it. Has to see who it is.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's just a pure exploratory check. Like, he didn't even bother to heal anything before going in. And he's just noping out, which is great for Zilch.
Possum going ahead and swapping airships. I like this as well, because you know a pink tail does put you in go mode. A rat tail from Sheila you'll of course want to turn in. Oh, it doesn't have the hovercraft yet though.
Yeah. But
oh, there's also the long-term plan of if he intends to pursue the Tower of Zot here.
Yeah, which is my thought there.
Yeah, you don't want to block your own parking space.
Why don't they just move the same airship that you went in?
Because it's hilarious.
It is the funniest thing you can do in this game. Oh, there's a rat tail.
All right. So now you do get to fly back and move the hovercraft now.
I bet he feels great about that.
Oh, just back and forth and back and forth. We're just flying everywhere today.
Yeah, and Zilch is saying he's gonna go for that Bahamut.
I like it. I mean, if this is important, you get to walk it out. If it's garbage, you just reset back down to the bottom of the tower.
Yeah, like, you know it's not gonna be hard, and you are actually very much hoping for this to be a dead check, because you want to keep those star bills.
Yeah. Don't hate that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just fine.
Notably, one of the flag changes between Swiss and Brackets is it went from Objective Forge to Classic Forge. Classic Forge moves the Excal to the key item pool at large, and I think we just found it.
Yeah, and that is a fantastic find. We don't really have anything incredible at our Cecil so far, and that scale is incredible.
I like this play as well. So we need one of two items for go mode, right? Possum needs either the Adamant Rock or the Pink Tail. They are both terminal key items. They don't gate anything else. And heading to the moon, you know that if you need to grind, you have good options available. You know where Sirens and Hourglasses are for sale. You got tons of money to do it with. I really like playing into the moon here when you need one of either of two terminal key items.
Yeah, because there's just so many checks all right next to each other. The thing I'm looking at here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that makes me wonder which what he's looking at here. Because I think without pass, I know he prefers to go from the bottom out.
Mm-hmm. And that's the walk we're seeing. Another thing to note here is that getting either of those key items would be number 9, and the crystal would be number 10. So you'd even be able to, after you turn it in, whichever one it is, get double XP on your grind to finish things off on the seed. But also, I opened this up when we started the night. Both Zilch and Possum are two of the best players at dealing with marginal Zeroma strategies,
Yeah.
low-level strats, Fu and Friends, 1200 HP strats. And with that Excal, I'd be feeling pretty frisky about the whole situation.
Yeah, like for me and for the way I play, I'm considering the XP routing on that. But as you know that you mention it that way, yeah, he Possum is not going to have the same concerns insofar as, say, trying to prioritize getting to that ribbon spot with 10.
We do get a vanilla tower key, so no resetting out of Babel just yet. Gonna be walking this all the way down.
I love me some vanilla tower keys.
And here comes the Excal. Sid, you're back on the team. Have an axe. Well, we know this is not Wyvern, at least.
Oh.
That's rude, but both Rosa and Cecil have over 50% health, so...
Yeah, it's just funny is all. It's incredibly funny.
Meanwhile, is this even randomized? Vanilla D-Lunars at the Ribbon Altar. What strat are you in the mood for today, Neon?
For vanilla, I think that we're seeing star reveals getting moved around. For vanilla, this is really a job for frogs, I find.
Agreed. I think hesitation here is the way to go. Not hesitation so much as patience. Just wait your turn. Because once they are frogs, you're doing bonus damage that you're not getting out of just the next cal. Because, fun fact, Baka Shinobi has only had to remind me of this about 3 dozen times. They may be undead, but they don't have a holy weakness, so you're not getting the bonus damage from just the X-Cal. You do need the Crystal Sword if you're going to be going for that. So I like waiting on the frogs here.
Yeah, and, just the fact that, this is a really high hit point spot for them. It's split, of course, but I like being able to go ham. And it's just not safe otherwise.
Meanwhile, we're going to see if Zilch's foray into Lower Babel pays off. He does get to swap the airship, which saves a little time on that end. And he gets a Baron key.
Exciting.
So that's actually probably one of the best things that Zilch could get here. We know that either of 2 key items puts Possumorpheus in go mode, and Baron blocks 2 key item checks.
Yeah.
If Moon's haunted here, it's exactly what Zilch needs to get back in this race after that delayed entering of the underground.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like seeing just this choice divergence in general. Also, too, on Possum's side, you can see a little thing that he's been doing. Now, when Cecil is parrying, he can't cover. But a lot of the times, if you're in a situation like this where you're just waiting, you need him to cover, but you also can't have him acting. So you just go into the item menu, and you use the sword as an item. It's not going to do anything. There you go.
I'll also note here that Possum did not wall up Cecil, because, of course, if you're walled, it's kind of hard to get Zerk cast on you. You could drink a Bacchus wine. Bacchus wine ignores Reflect. But Cecil does get bad breath. Possum attacks the correct D-Lunar. If only one is frog, hit the frog. Its wall spell will fail.
Yes.
But is kind of on a clock now, because you ideally want to kill the back one first. It will be helping you kill the frog by casting Bio on it. But this can still be a little rough at the end if you get down to just the D-Lunar and it starts flambeing your entire team.
Yeah. It's tricky, because, you do want the, you do want to spread as many of those walls as you can, but that's just the way that cookie crumbles.
Yeah. Zilch, meanwhile, has found Mylon and friends. Will be equalizing on the objectives presently. Porum still has that arrow, and although we said that the D-Lunars are zombies without a holy weakness, they are also dragons. Porum, kill. Best murder machine of the seed. You love to see it.
Yeah, she is doing so much work here. And I think, that's the important thing, too. Some characters are better than others. You can certainly make a meme out of it, too, but in the end, every character's, they've got use cases, and none of them are bad, when you're using them appropriately. So, Porum, she's a good girl here.
And Cecil here not really cooperating, while Porum also hitting the wrong target there. That frog is dead. Rosa just tried to blink it. Just gonna retarget on the back one? Oh, well, convenient. It did have wall up. Okay. But we're gonna see these flambés fire group attack percentage based.
Oof.
Oh, and it still had a virus queued up. That's disgusting.
I'll gotta YOLO this, and YOLO it was.
Gets through. The most important characters for XP all survive here, which is good for Possum. Sid is already above 2200 health, so he's probably fine for the Z fight. A package and a defense sword. Not what he was hoping to pull from there, but the XP is good at least.
Yeah, that is not enthusing, but it'll do. Looks like we're doing some magic healing with Porum.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Possum found... Did Possum find the cabins that Zilch did? I remember Zilch buying those 4 cabins pretty early in the seed, I believe Mysidia, but Possum might not have visited that shop.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
Yeah, kind of awkward there, taking the heroine robe off to do the healing, because if you're just Zerking Porum in the fight, she only really needs enough MP to cast the 1 dose of Zerk.
Yeah.
But still, that extra menuing, and what a difference a few cabins make. Kind of a gross boss here, though.
Yeah, so long as it's just hitting Cecil, though, seems to be fine. And with the blinks we're getting off, not too worrisome here.
Well, yeah, mitigating its damage when it's just attacking, not so much an issue. The question is, how do you intend to kill it? And, still gonna go with the Zerk on Cecil. Maximum damage per hit. But these little needle counters...
They're gonna be, what, like 200-300 each? Oh.
Let's find out. That's not so bad.
Yeah. Like, you have to... it's high enough that you're gonna have to deal with it, but that's fine. Yeah. So gets his Earth Crystal.
Yeah, and has already peaked Feymarch. Knows what's down there. So, again, lots of options for him now. He is also 1 item either way to go mode. Let's see if he continues the Divergence, or if he ends up chasing down the Lunar Rabbit Hole with Possumorpheus.
Yeah, like, this is exciting, because right now it could be anyone's game.
Gonna be getting that Rat Tail from Sheila. Notably, this does get Zilch to 10 key items before it does Possumorpheus.
Which honestly, if I'm Zilch, I'm gonna be taking those and immediately shotgunning my Sirens once I have that. Just because, from there on out, like, it'll just make everything smoother.
Yeah. Dandek in chat asking what the counter is. It is a magical attack. With the damage is based off of the physical. It's basically like the Dark Knight's Dark Wave that it hits you with.
Oh! That's it. That's go mode.
Yep. Possum already has most of the levels necessary. If he needs any more, well, 10 key items will enable that double XP. And it just goes to show the power of an early grind. Free Enterprise very rarely punishes you for getting those early levels, especially if you have to go down a hook route. And it's looking like Possum is in firm command of this seed.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where, if you take the steps early in the game that will make your late game easier, that's always going to be the best thing you can do. Yeah, he is going to go get his hovercraft back, because he left without it. And he's gonna go pick up some more sirens. So Zilch, I think, is hoping very badly for a pink tail in Baron.
I like Zilch's broader strategical play here, by the way. Even if this doesn't come up with the pink tail, Zilch did commit to a keyless tower play.
Yeah.
Right after hitting the underground, and to go through that and get the Baron key, pursuing it to me makes a lot of sense. It's playing to your outs.
Yeah.
So this chase, I think, is strategically very sound. But Rando, of course, is gonna Rando.
Yeah, and he does have a bit of time if he can get through it. If this pays off, all is not quite lost yet, but he's running out of time.
Possum, meanwhile, headed down to forge this final objective. We'll get a crystal, and just to has hit 10 key items already. Pardon me, I forgot about that package from the D-Lunar spot. So crystal will be 11, but don't leave home without it. Nothing, well, not few things more painful than having everything you need and flying back to the moon, walking down to visit Zeromus, and realizing you did not forge. So getting that out of the way, very smart to go ahead and take care of here.
Life staff and a protect ring, very nice buys there.
Oh yeah, that extra gold dragon money coming in so nice right there.
Oh yeah. And did you see, like, he bought a full stack of 10 sirens. Getting that on these flags, that is the power of gold dragons for you.
Now, Possum did not go back to buy more hourglasses, so just gonna roll with the yellow dragon eggs here. Makes a lot of sense. As long as you kill them in one hit and don't get back around to that Porum, you're not gonna consume your arrow.
Yeah, and Porum will easily flatten these things.
Yeah, and just the fact that they are completely zero threat until they hatch.
And
Kinda
he
zero
gives
threat
the apple to Rosa!
I mean, he's playing to win here. Porum is DPS, but Rosa is the survival plan at that Z fight, especially if he doesn't do a huge grind here.
Yeah, but it's 50 hit points.
As someone who, again, I know that this raises, I have seen Porum die to her exact HP and her exact HP
yes,
plus 2.
Yes, that's fair. That's fair. We've all seen that.
50 HP can be huge on
You're
wayward Big Bang.
That's very true.
We've all been there. It's like, was that Exacxes? That was Exacxes. We've all seen it in the booth. We've all seen it in chat watching these races. So yeah, I think that was the wiser decision to be made.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. It seems just so unfair.
Well, for
that was a real Kane move.
I think we are going to see Possum end up contributing to the delinquency of a minor. I think one of these flasks of Bacchus wine has Porum's name on it for the finale.
I think so. He did buy 4.
Meanwhile, Zilch tearing through this barren castle. I didn't even see who the second boss was. Did you?
It was thing. CPU.
Gotcha. Thank you to our tracker, Twisted Flags, pulling that in for us. While I'm in chat, does Porum have a real bow yet? Nope. Still just a great bow.
We are about to see if this is the pink tail that Zilch needs.
Yeah. Possumorpheus, meanwhile, has grinded to the Holy Spell. I believe still has a couple of Sirens left there, unless those last few went faster than I realized. But figures it is time. And Zilch gets a pan. If you want to get a pink tail and a pass from one key item, that's the key item that lets you do it.
Oh, he's got to run, though. And he's going for it.
Possum, meanwhile, has landed on the moon, has to walk these floors another time.
And it is a few minutes to do this walk. So if we can get a pass right here.
Tiny fairies, what you got?
Delicious French vanilla.
Yeah, so at this point, I would say Zilch would absolutely have to get the pink tail from Sheila, and then probably go straight to Zeromus without grinding. Possum would also need to take a wipe, but you know, things happen in these races. Don't count anyone out until the flash comes in.
Yeah, it is, yeah, yeah, things would have to go south for Possum at this point, but the Zeromus fight is known for going south, so... Oh.
Rude. Sheila decidedly not having the goods this seed. Zilch very cleverly resets right back to the save outside of Baron. Next destination is very likely that basement throne.
Yeah. Yeah, that is some excellent save work there.
Headed down to the basement. Let's see, there's still some free bosses left in the pool. I don't think we've seen Baron guards, Kaipo guards, Dark Imps, or Water Hag, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so this could very well be very easy. What's going on in chat? Oh god, that's not free.
That's kinda gross. Yeah, chat, of course, the Z flag. The Z flag. What? The Z flag. Oh, very nicely done by Zilch, though. Getting that mute cast off in time. The hold gas will not work here. But Possumorpheus, meanwhile, all those concerns are past him, entering the Z fight. Over 425 alternate sprites for Zeromus in the pool. Neon, can I ask you a very important question tonight?
You can ask me anything, you know this.
Whose twerker are we gonna berserker?
Wow.
Anyway.
I should have known when you said that you had to check for permission to use that first, that it would be bad.
Hey, who's this sprite? I've not seen this one before. This looks cool as heck.
Oh, that's... Oh, it's Scala Kitty letting us know.
Crisis Core? What's Crisis Core?
Oh, you're just saying things to make it sound like you don't know.
I love hearing the explanation from fans of the game. Hey, there's the pass.
Yay.
And don't worry, Stoppable Force, I do have about 24 more varieties. We've been brainstorming. But yeah, great looking sprite.
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And Possum's team has this so under control. Got a 2200 HP Rosa, got a Cecil Zerkin it up with an X-Cal. Murder Porum is trying her best to breaks 4 digits on that bow attack.
Excellent.
exceedingly clean setup here. Very little to be worried about.
Yeah, like this is yeah, like this is a classic Zen fight right here. It is just he's just handling this like smooth as heck.
Yeah, so we did mention at the start of the race that both Zilch and Possum are just two of the experts in marginal Zeromus fights. This seed requires no such thing. All the tools you need were at hand, and this fight is going super cleanly.
Yeah, like this is just textbook how to handle this fight. It's like it's just like the execution here is really beautiful to look at. Like we're even bringing up Tella so we can watch the show.
Yeah, might be intending to throw out a nerf of any subsequent Big Bangs here. Is rocking about 6,000 damage a rotation, it looked like. So we see that crystal throw from Tella. What's happening here is Zeromus is taking an invisible turn right after Sid's swing to set the magic power. The crystal gets thrown. This will draw a nuke counter, which drops the number of rolls on that Big Bang from 8 or 9 down to 4, a max of 1,200 damage.
Yeah, and I don't think it's super necessary here, but since this is so easily fit in, might as well.
Well, you know, Rosa has that lovely 2,200 HP, but you don't want to risk the a full power Big Bang thwarting your best laid plans.
Yeah, and I mean, this damage is, you know, we're in combo platter risk, but I'm looking at, say, the Sid and the Cecil, and I'm thinking we're fine that way, but it never hurts to keep your hit points up.
And we did see a refill at some point there. Should have seen that Big Bang from that prior shake by now. None came out, so we're probably going to see another shake. There it goes.
Yep.
Same story, using the crystal to nerf it in case it is getting queued up and will be executed. Always a chance we tip over to Meteo, of course, and not even see the Big Bang.
Yeah, and I mean, that type of juggle there is actually really likely, I think.
Kind of a rough counter nuke target here. Rosa being down to that low of HP is not something you want even on a 1,200 max Big Bang.
Yeah, that's dangerous. But, corrected. Oh.
But if you can land 2 Magic Evade rolls, you're not even taking more than 600. Rosa with the moves.
I love Rosa.
She's the best. We do find a mop up in the Tower of Zot on Zilch's side. Here's where all the powerful black mages in the seed were hiding, both Fu and Palom in the tower.
Oh, that's exciting. And pulled a move that I have done accidentally myself on more than one occasion, where you go into Zot and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm going to take this character, not this one. And you accidentally take the first character, was the one you didn't want. So you just swap them back over. There's the Meteo phase.
Yep, and one final Bacchus wine on Cecil. Porum has done her duty. It's taken a little nap time after drinking that juice.
She's done a great job through this seed. She has earned that nap.
Cure 4 from Rosa seals the safety. 1 to 2 more swings from Cecil's all it'll take. Oh, are we getting the crumble skip?
Oh, cheeky.
And that's time! GG's out in chat for Possumorpheus. Did have the 1 game advantage because of the higher seed, and thus will be advancing to the round of 16. We will see if we can get him in here for an interview shortly. Just all of the swag that seed from both sides. Zilch showing off all the stuff you can do at Ruby. Possum coming in here at the end, nerfing all the big bangs, taking the kamikaze to skip the crumble even, keep that music rolling. And we are joined by Possumorpheus. Possumorpheus, GG.
Thank you very much. GG's to Zilch.
The kind of the big defining moment this seed was you dove into Cave Eblin a bit sooner, saw those hourglasses, and those combined with the Artemis arrows, very early steamroll that just got you through that early game so well. So tell us a bit more about Eblin and why Eblin is such a great place to go shopping this time of year.
Well, Eblin has 2 guaranteed Tier 5 consumables, and on a flag set where you have limited money, all you need is a couple good things, and you can make your party go burr too.
Speaking of going burr, there was a little bit of sassy back and forth between you and our restreamer in the race room prior.
Yep.
But I dare say, Porum, best Zerker, and why?
No, Great Bow, best Zerker. Porum, simply a vessel.
Touche.
It was a pretty great bow this seed.
It was something. I really was hoping at some point ever to find a better one, but that would have involved more shopping, and ain't nobody got time for that.
I mean, it got the job done, so who can complain then? We all can complain. We all want a better bow.
Yeah. Thoughts on that as well? Just assume, just hypothetically speaking, no Artemis arrows. How do you think that changes your early game routing there and your plans for building your party's power?
It would have been interesting because I think I would have been much more likely to go purchase a Cecil weapon instead of going through and just relying on that heroin robe and the okay bow and the arrow. And I would have had to find one again. I didn't do a ton of shopping, but even like a second ogre axe could have done a good job. I was just juggling weaponry. It was kind of awkward. The curse ring pickup really made a lot of it work though, and allowed me that flexibility to kind of just manage the party in whatever way I needed.
Well, looking to the week ahead. Oh, hold on. We can't talk about that. There is a moratorium. So
I was going to say,
looking at your corner of the bracket,
yes,
there are a lot of spicy opponents that you could be running into in the weeks to come. What have you been doing? What are some of your big takeaways from this brackets flag set? Like, what are some of the main lessons that you've learned about it that kind of informs your gameplay? Like, what is the one big tip you would give anyone who wants to race some brackets flags?
Loot Eblin Castle, loot Watery Pass, stop looting all the crappy locations. That's the biggest single thing. That you have to prioritize where you're going to loot. So things like Damsian Basement, 0 GP, 0 GP, 0 GP. Things like Antlion Cave, like yes, I looted 2 chests in there. That was for Martin Brock Cloak, and then I looted my personal chest in the upper right of the first floor. But other than those chests, I mean, I don't loot anything in Antlion, and those are really memes. The loot tiering on T-Pro is especially important to understand the tables for where you're going to get good stuff. And, I got a ton of heavy armor. I didn't get any good weapons. It was a little awkward. I got the Ogre Axe, and I probably should have dipped on Eblin at that point instead of taking the last box on the right tower and saved myself about 45 seconds. But Eblin, Watery Pass, and outside of that, there's really not much worth looting. Miss Cave has decent value. The waterfall itself has decent value if the boss is free. But otherwise, leave all those locations like Barren Town, leave Damsian Basement, leave Antlion alone. The loot is just not good quality.
Gotcha. Neon, any further questions on your end?
No, I think you've really covered it. This was a really interesting scene to watch. A lot of awkward with all that shuffling, but it made for a flashy show, and I think that was a really good one to watch.
GG's again, Possumorpheus, very well played. Just excellent decision making through that seed, paid off in the end, and good luck in the round of 16. Enjoy the rest of your week off.
Yeah, thank you both, and thank you to Cubs for the restream. Cubs, we will have words after, based on me preparing for a joking Porum start with a Porum objective and another Porum objective, and getting 2 of the 3. Excuse you very much. But thank you. And Neon and Invent, thank you for doing comms. I'm sure it's going to be great to listen back to this one. And of course, GG to Zilch. But thank you to all the admins. Thank you, everyone. And, everyone stay healthy, stay blessed, and we will catch y'all in the round of 16. Have a good night, y'all.
Hey, good night, Possum.
Good night. Good luck.
And we do have Zilch entering the Zeromus fight as well. Slightly lower levels, but has the party supplemented with that Fusoya here to power things up. So we might be seeing a little bit of... I wouldn't describe this as full Fu and Friends necessarily, just because we still have a 2600 HP Cecil with an Excalibur. But definitely going to be a little more marginal of a fight than Possum had. So let's see how Zilch handles it.
Yeah, I think, just looking at where the hit points are, it's, this is still extremely handleable, but it is going to be a different style of fight. Oh, and Porum only has up to Cure 3, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, her job there was just as equally accomplished by soaking the nuke as it would have been by healing someone else who took a nuke.
Yeah, good night, Porum. You've done good work.
And we do see a wall spell being queued up on Fu from Rosa. Zilch may be planning to go for the refill skip here. For those in chat or watching the VOD who are curious, they couldn't give Zeromus all 110,000-ish HP at once, so instead there are 2 different phases to the fight with an HP refill in between. Reflected damage does not activate the reaction script, so a well-timed cessation of direct violence and resuming it with pure reflection cuts the HP on this fight basically in half.
Yeah, and that's very very doable. Or 2, even if he's not going for the skip, supplementing a pair of berserkers with nukes, even from a foe, that will just cut a lot of time out of the fight too.
Oh yeah, because even on Possumorpheus' side, we did see a second shake, second big bang before the refill did not come out. But getting this extra 10 to 15,000 damage from these nukes definitely helps make sure you get over that threshold before additional bangs come out.
And yeah, I think that's a little more likely to come in here than going for a skip.
Yeah, we see the Cecil and the Cid just going ham here. Fu's already burned 150 MP, not a whole lot to go. It appears just to be waiting here. That Rosa has a Protect Ring and a white shirt, courtesy of that pink tail turn-in. So even at around this 1800 HP mark, should be okay.
Yeah, that's in will probably survive territory. Ooh, that's tight though.
And that's not the right spell.
Oh no. Oh, Zilch.
should have enough time to get back around and cast the Cure 4. And also has that, I believe, a Lunar Staff on that Rosa, so has plenty of potency in this Cure 4. It should full heal every member of the team.
Yeah, and you know what? Just seeing that black hole, that's one of those times when you see that and you're like, just, whew. Because that means, you've got some time there. Then you have to re-berserk everybody, but we've got one wine left. We've got Rosa, who can still cast.
Yeah, the wine going on Cecil, a nice big 5,000 damage hit. Extra Zerk going on Sid to supplement the damage. Should still have plenty of time to get this Sid and the rest of the team fully healed before any more big bangs come out. Ooh, and rocks are falling already. Tore through the second phase of this fight very quickly.
Down goes the Sid, but I don't think that's anything to worry about.
Oh yeah, the power couple has this in the bag at this point. Rocks means there's less than 12,000 HP left, and there's the crumble. GG's to Zilch. And we will see if we can get him in here for an interview shortly. And we are joined by Zilch. Zilch, GG's, sir.
Thank you.
Amazing use of tech that seed. It was very cool watching you pull out the reaction grind on the moon, showcasing that little bit of tech, handling the Ruby fight with the tools at your disposal, the fire absorption, the Life 1 script, just really showing how much you knew about the game and how everything fits together. But I think the one little bit of bad luck that did you in was not checking the Eblin shop. Those hourglasses gave a pretty big advantage in levels and money to your opponent, and that kind of just... Did you think anything about that when you did finally go in there and saw the hourglasses and sirens for sale? Like, what went through your head at that point?
I mean, at the time I got the hook, I don't think I had any money left, even if I was going there, so it wouldn't have mattered. Because I spent it all on the curse string, and then I bought, I think, a vampire and like 2 star veils. So I was pretty much broke at that point, and I figured I had enough to get through, and yeah, so it happens. I mean, I saw the hourglasses there, and I figured, yeah, you can just go moon now and just chill there. And I've done that before, and it's a play I normally make, or at least like half the time. But yeah, the main thing that hurt me there, I think, was not checking the boss prior to finishing the overworld, because that was I mean, like you mentioned, there all the fancy tech, but it was a very slow fight, considering
True.
I had Sid whacking at like 800 damage a pop and Ruby counter every time. But if I would have found like ice arrows anywhere, or if I even knew to look for them, or if I found that ice brand instead of the first chest after Ruby, like the first chest before Ruby, that was very nice of the seed.
When you opened that Feymark chest and the ice brand popped out of it, I just thought, like, I felt like the seed was just being unnecessarily cruel at that point. And Sheila too, giving the magma key at the end of all that effort as well. It's like, really, seed? Really? You gonna do Zilch this dirty?
I got the spoon also, so there was that.
What I do want to ask you about, though, is tell us about your plan for routing after you made it underground. You saw the Bahamut at the top of the tower. What kind of drove your plan for how to work your way through the underground when you saw that?
I think I wanted to check Feymarch first, just to check the bosses to see if Mylon was there, which I guess technically Mylon was there, just not the right one. Then after that, I figured I knew Bahamut was free, and I didn't need to heal to do it. So I figured I would just do that real quick, drop a save, and then I could reset out if needed. Got the tower key, and then, well, obviously I'll finish that out. And then after that, I was going to plan on doing Sheila 1, but I wanted to check the boss at Dwarf, just so I know if I could ignore it. And then naturally there's the other Mylon. So I was kind of pot committed to do that at that point, since, do your objectives. And then from there, I decided to just finish up overworld stuff. And then I think it was between Zot and Baron. And I figured Baron was basically 2 key items. And Zot would have been 2 characters, which I didn't need at that point, and 1 key item. So I figured Baron was the quicker play. And I probably was quicker if it had any of the right items instead of more rabbit holes. But, it happens.
Yeah, rando gonna rando. When you were doing that, I thought that it was absolutely the right strategical decision to make based on what you'd seen. But even the play that works, a certain percentage of the time does not work. The 1 minus n% of the time. But I thought you played wonderfully, Neon. What questions, thoughts do you have?
You know what? I think we've covered them all pretty well. It really was a joy to watch. Even if that Ruby fight was slow, just seeing that, just those really rarely popped out tricks like the absorption or the life thing, or even just seeing the script pop after we'd seen all the rest I love that.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to time it so I would have thrown that bomb right before Ruby died and everyone got an experience, but I wasn't actually counting, and we're just going on gut time.
Yeah. Well, Zilch, we'll give you the final thoughts on the seed, and just any final thoughts tonight before we close up shop for the evening.
I just want to say thanks to everyone restreaming, commentating, tracking. Thanks to all the admins putting on this tournament. It's been a lot of fun. I definitely like how these tournaments are constantly changing. The flag sets just change up everything, and just the feedback that's taken into account to make it a more enjoyable experience for everyone. It's been a great time, and I look forward to watching the rest of it. And maybe I'll try out the ladder.
Sounds
you
good.
should. It's such good fun.
All right, thanks again, Zilch. And reminder, chat, make sure you follow both our featured runners, Possumorpheus and Zilch, both amazing runners.